Hello and welcome to this week's edition of What Say You podcast. I'm Brian Quinn. There is no Sal with me at the moment as this is an intro to the episode. We have a bizarre episode for you this week. What happened is the day that we were supposed to record this week's episode of What Say You podcast, we were also supposed to shoot a bit for Impractical Jokers. And that morning when I woke up, there was all sorts of messages from Sal saying that he's dying and he thinks he needs to go to the hospital. So, of course, I got in my car and rushed to Sal's house to pick him up and bring him to the hospital. Now, we are dedicated to bringing you an episode of What Say You podcast every week without fail, if possible. We're really going to try for this. And knowing that we were going to have to move the shoot day to our only free day that week, I knew we weren't going to be able to record What Say You podcast. So I whipped out my recorder in the emergency room and recorded what's going to be around the 20 minutes of episode for you guys in the emergency room. As you'll hear, Sal is hesitant to the idea and also sick in the beginning, as well as I'm pretty sure people are dying around this. It's a risk. I don't know if anybody's going to get pissed by this. I don't know if we come off looking like dickheads. I know I probably come off looking like a dickhead. But, fuck it. I'm on a TV show where last year I had to guess what people ate by having them burp in my face. So, obviously I'm not very concerned about public image here. Fuck it. So here is a shortened episode of What Say You podcast, a very special episode of What Say You podcast, Sal's emergency room visit, and I think you'll find it has a happy ending. Okay, well, one more thing I should mention is for all your podcasting needs, please go to creakystudios.com. Declan, who masters our podcast, is definitely going to put this together, make it sound as good as possible. So if you're thinking of making a podcast, grab Declan. Okay, on with the show. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of What Say You.
This is not this week's edition.
The hospital edition. How you feeling, buddy?
You carry that recorder with you everywhere?
I'm going to carry it with me everywhere, dude. You never know when the opportunity for a podcast is going to spring up.
There's a time and a place for a podcast. This is not it, dude.
The emergency room? Emergency room's not it.
No. I think this is going to be frowned upon by everybody else here that's here because of an emergency.
Okay, we are in an emergency room.
Yeah.
But not in the waiting room. We're actually in, the emergency room.
We've been admitted.
Well, you've been admitted.
These are all viruses.
Don't laugh like that.
What happened this morning? We were supposed to shoot an episode of Impractical Jokers today. Come on, let's just fill everybody in.
I can hardly talk, dude.
I know. You want me to talk? So I got a phone call today.
I'm gonna throw up.
What the fuck is that? Oh man, maybe this isn't funny.
This is not the place to have that fucking thing.
I don't want him to see the recorder.
This ain't. I feel wrong.
That didn't look serious.
Okay.
Don't worry about that. We're supposed to shoot Impractical Jokers.
It's probably illegal what you're doing.
What are you talking about?
I can't do it, dude. I'm too sick.
Are you saying you don't want to do an episode this week?
No, I can't do this right now. I've been having migraines.
Yeah.
And they've been recurring.
Right.
And it's new to me relatively, and you can't move.
Right.
You can't function.
I mean, when you called me this morning, you sounded like you were dying.
I felt like I was dying.
Right.
In other words,
And so we're not shooting today, and I'm in the emergency room.
Right. Now,
those two things together.
to anybody that's like, you're a dick for pulling out a recorder and laughing, I came to your house to pick you up and brought you to the hospital, right?
Yeah, you don't have to sell me, buddy.
Hey, it's Sal too. Okay, at this point, a doctor came over who recognized us from the show and got some information from Sal and talked about her day a little bit. And I didn't want to expose sensitive information about her or Sal, so I cut the recorder. What might be my only act of decency this entire episode, aside from paying for Sal's parking. Okay, back to the show minus sensitive information. All right. So
This feels really weird.
I'm just saying, not only did I nobly give up shooting my TV show today for you.
I don't have it in me, dude. I can't even fuck around.
I
feel like I'm gonna throw up, really.
But we could both agree I paid for parking, right?
I'll reimburse you.
I don't want you reimbursed. We're friends. I don't need. You're in an emergency medical situation.
Please don't make light of this, dude. I feel like dying. Please.
All right. So you don't have any topics you want to know? What say you?
The migraines.
Okay. I'm sitting in front of a soiled linen room.
That's true.
So there's just shit covered sheets in there.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree here.
All right, what do you want me to shut this off and we'll restart?
I mean, I'm not even joking. Just for this, I feel like it's coming back because
really?
I don't think I could be that fast and loose with my conversation.
Right. But we could use this in the beginning of the episode, right?
I feel like it's illegal. Right now, I've taken 5 Excedrin in 2 hours, which I don't think you're supposed to do.
Right.
I threw up 5 times, and I'm afraid I'm having a brain aneurysm, so I want to be safe. So all I could say to be serious is I was nervous because I didn't have health coverage.
Right.
I would say just go. Don't worry about it. That's what you told me, right?
I said don't worry about it.
You, Joe, and Mer told me to don't be an asshole and to go to the emergency room regardless. So I'm here.
Everybody's very concerned.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, I don't want to make a bigger deal out of it than it is.
Sure.
I hope it's just a headache. I don't know why I'm getting them, but I'm going to get one of those scans and just see what's going on.
Can we just talk about for a second how the admitting nurse, a big burly dude, didn't find me funny? Can we talk about that for a second?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because they strapped Sal up to a blood pressure machine. And I asked tongue-in-cheek, I said, hey, can I Instagram this, buddy? And the guy goes, as long as I'm not in it.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
I didn't even, dude, I'm in my own world. I didn't even hear him.
So he didn't.
Like then you said.
Oh, I go, no. I said, not you, just him, hashtag pussy. The guy.
Why is that funny?
The guy did not. He did not have any. He didn't like it.
Yeah.
He feels how I'm sure 1 or 2 people in the audience is going to feel. I shouldn't be harassing you.
This is risky. I'm just afraid that someone's going to see this recorder on. Oh shit, dude, I did not feel well. I'm afraid someone's going to see this recorder on and just be like, what the hell?
Right.
Because the people's conversations and shit, it's isn't it supposed to be all
Oh yeah, well I don't think we're picking up. I'll listen to it. If we're picking up anything, I won't play it. Fair?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll say one thing before I shut it off.
please do. I can't handle it.
This is one thing. Why is every doctor and nurse here about 10 years younger than me?
Yeah.
What's going on in the world? Am I that old now where we're
yeah, man.
The best and the brightest are now way below me?
Yeah. Watch sports. Everyone's 20 years younger than us.
Well, that's sports. You expect that.
Yeah, but I still watch sports and feel like that's an adult and I'm a kid.
Right.
I still feel like the 22-year-old kid from Dominican Republic that's throwing heat.
Right.
I'm watching him like I'm a kid and he's an adult.
Yeah.
I'm double his age.
Right.
I'm throwing my own Dominican heat. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't want to even make light of this.
Okay, I'll shut up.
I literally feel like I wouldn't be. I'm in the goddamn emergency room. I come to the emergency room once every 6 years. So that's how I feel.
All right. So I'll shut it down. But I may turn it back on.
How is this usable?
What do you mean?
How are you going to... Who wants to hear this? How are you going to use this?
I'm just going to put it up. It's our podcast. We can do whatever we want. They're free not to listen.
There's people screaming in the background.
Well, to be fair, it's a child.
Oh, that's fair.
By the way, that was a joke. The child is fine. She's just scared, witless, so everything's okay.
That is true. We looked and we talked to them before.
Yes.
She just has a scrape on her knee or whatever. It's not anything.
All right.
All right.
All right, I'll shut it down, but I may turn it back on.
I turn it back on when I'm getting my CAT scan.
Okay. All right. Okay, so after that, I shut the recorder off and proceeded to wait around with Sal for 3 hours while his CAT scan was being readied for him. During that time, we wrote for Impractical Jokers, and we talked about the show a little bit. Nothing that would really be interesting to the podcast, so I didn't really have anything. I got really hungry and went to the store to buy myself and Sal a sandwich. I did not tell him this, but I also swung into GameStop and bought Arkham City Origins. Now, before you judge me for leaving Sal alone in the emergency room for an extra half hour, all by his lonesome, please keep in mind that I really, really, really wanted to play Batman. Also, Sal is a grown man who probably didn't really need his fellow middle-aged friend to hold his hand in the emergency room the entire time, but we do these things because we love. Don't we love? We all love. Anyway, happy ending. I got a sandwich. Sal got a sandwich. I got Batman. And then when I returned to the hospital, Sal was actually in the test. I waited for him to come back, and when he came back, I once again continued the episode. Here we go. All right. Well, we're still. It's how many hours later? 5?
It's like it's got to be around 4 hours later.
Right.
Just got the results of a CAT scan.
Right.
I've got the equivalent of an A+.
Right.
Which rules out a tumor.
Tumors.
Bleeding. What else should she say? Hemorrhage? I don't know.
I wasn't really listening.
But I do have to go get an MRI.
Right. But you're feeling less
scared.
Yeah.
But
it's Dr. Babu.
Dr. Babu, all right.
We're waiting to get discharged, but I just didn't want everybody to think that you
want to give them some closure.
A ray of hope that you're going to be okay.
They're giving me a referral to a neurologist, and then in the coming days I will go get an MRI, which I'm told is a more in-depth look into my head.
Okay. All right.
I still feel like shitty.
Yeah.
But you got me a ham and cheese.
I did go to get you a sandwich. What you paid for?
Let's let them know that, because I think you said you paid for parking.
Yeah, I did pay for parking, right.
All right. How much was the parking?
I mean, I guess it was like $6.
Okay, because I paid for your lunch.
Right.
How much was your lunch?
Probably $8.
All right.
Right.
$8. Okay.
Well, I also drove to get you this morning.
Right. So we're about even.
Well, the last time this happened, I bought you migraine medication, Excedrin. You never paid me back on that. So, I mean, you want to just keep going?
I offered and you said no.
Well,
that clears me 100%. You can't even bring that up.
All right. Well, do you want money for the sandwich back?
No.
Okay, so now I'm cleared 100%.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now my parking still.
Did you you're not clear on the parking?
No, you're not clear on the parking.
I thought it was $6.
Yeah.
That was weird that we turned this on in the hospital, but I guess that's the benefit of having technology.
Well, we had a little mini episode. Now the only question is, do we want
I had a mini episode, and then we had a mini episode.
Do we want to release this as a mini episode, or tag it on to the end of a podcast?
We'll have to decide.
All right.
How was it, like 10 minutes?
It'll be about 10 minutes.
I really don't know. How do we monetize my sickness?
Well, we're not getting paid for the podcast, so.
That's right.
Right.
I'll sell this story to Hollywood, and, Kevin James can play.
When I think of all the...
Dr. Mubarak, 1988.
A lot of...
Dr. Mubarak, 1988.
When I think of all the sick people in this hospital and the... So we're doing a little reflecting earlier. People have died in here.
Don't.
I can't help but think that you should follow us on Twitter at BQ Quinn, at Sal Vacano, at What Say You Pod,
at the Tenderloins Podcast.
Right.
We're on tour. Check the tenderloins.com for dates near you.
That's right.
Okay.
That's because life is short, and you should have fun while you're here.
I have a couple of little anecdotes.
Oh, you want?
Maybe I should just do them when we're in the studio, like later.
Well, we got to drive home from here.
I know. I still feel so nauseous, but I can tell a couple things.
Oh, God.
Like when the doctor came in. First of all, everyone was very lovely here.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we didn't even say where we were, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the doctor came in, And I mean, as lousy as I feel, I can't resist the chance at even a bad joke. I like saying bad jokes.
You did drop
I dropped a few. One that I thought, the jokes that I like the best always fail the hardest.
Right.
And in my head, they're my favorite.
Sure.
She said that we're going to give you a CAT scan. And that's not the best test in the world, but it'll do. And I said, well, don't let the CAT scan hear you say that. And she looked back at me with a blank stare. She had no response.
Right.
And then she was like, what?
They're not, humor's not their strong suit.
And then I was going to be taken to get a CAT scan, and the gentleman told me to sit in the wheelchair to be transported there. And I assured him that I felt fine. I said that I could moonwalk there. And he said, don't moonwalk there. Took me serious. And then I said, well, I just feel bad. One, you have to push me. Two, you can give that wheelchair to someone who needs it right now. He said it was protocol and that please just sit because if I will fall on the way there, it's the hospital's fault.
Right.
To which, of course, I acquiesced because that makes sense. Sat in the thing and I got wheeled clear across the other end of the grounds of this hospital to where no less than a dozen Impractical Jokers fans were screaming in a mix of delight and pure sadness because they saw me in a wheelchair and didn't know what happened. Right. And then, of course, there's always people like, what trick are you playing on me?
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to go get a brain scan.
Well, what did the guy say to you?
Well, we were making small talk the whole time.
Can I have you with?
And then coming back, the guy said to me, so, what brings you here today? As he was wheeling me back from the CAT scan. And I said, I've been having migraines, so I figured I'd get it checked out. To which he said, oh, that's cool. To which I said, well, depends who you ask. It's really not that cool. I thought I was having a brain aneurysm, but you know. And then he literally was like, the Giants are 1-6.
See, that's cool. Like, that's good.
No, he wasn't making a joke. He was actually just like
dead
he was. I mean, he definitely had like a social issue. Yeah,
I pet a turkey
today
when I was going to the car to fill the meter.
Oh yeah, Staten Island's notorious for wild turkeys.
And they used to be shy or aggressive. Now they just wander,
domesticated.
Oh, and like one.
They don't run. They don't attack. They just
no. And I just reached out and I was like, well, we'll see how this goes.
That's risky because if you look on YouTube, there's a lot of people getting attacked by flamingos, turkeys, like they chase you, ostriches.
Yeah, but you know how I feel about animals. I love them.
Sure,
a lot. Probably more than the average person. But you know, I'm not living in the wilderness with gorillas or anything like that. But could you keep it down with trying to podcast here? And I went to...
I feel so nauseous.
I went to, you don't look good, you look like shit. And I was like, I'm going to take a chance here. And I'm going to pet the turkey. And I reached out and I gently they're huge.
Yeah.
I mean, they're enormous. They're probably about 4 feet tall, like 3 inches. Yeah. And I reached out and I put my hand on like the slope of its back. And it just looked at me.
Holy
it did not freak out.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was cool.
I wonder how they're surviving over here, though.
Well,
there's marshlands over there, but still, I don't know.
People feed them. Because I drive this route to set every day, and I see a guy out there feed them. But also, on top of that, I know that they're trying to eradicate them, and a very sad end to this story. Because
not remove them, eradicate them.
They wanted to remove them, but it turns out that the turkeys here are a mix of 2 different breeds, and they can't release them in the wild for whatever reason. They don't want to pollute they have no place to send them that they won't pollute genetic bloodstreams of other turkeys. They're specific Staten Island turkeys.
That is so apropos for Staten Island.
But at the same time, it's sad because they trap and kill a bunch of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they put them down, but there's still a lot out there, so...
Put them down, really?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're edible.
Oh, they gotta be, right?
Well, then you're telling me that these like bastard turkeys. I don't know if they're like maybe they have some kind of strain of like.
Dr. Kurocheva, 5849. Dr. Kurocheva.
Is it gonna be at any point like
Dr. Smith.
Like a Dr. Smith at
Oh,
Jones.
my doctor was not. Oh, cut that out.
Right. Well, you didn't say it. You said, "Oh, my doctor's name is."
I said that.
Right. We'll see.
I know you don't want to edit.
We'll see if Declan will beat that out. I think why would there be if a plane crashed? Murray would be edible. You could eat them.
Sure.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, if they're trying to eradicate them, we are less than a month. We're a month away from Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Why would you want to kill these gentle creatures? Though?
I wouldn't. I'm just saying.
As I pet one.
Just want to lay down.
Oh, that guy's talking about ailments. All right. Well, why don't we shut this down? All right. Well, that's it for this special episode of What Say You Podcast, or this is tagged on the end of the next episode.
Sure.
And so this ends the hospital edition of What Say You Podcast. We will be back next week with a full episode, a regular episode. I hope you enjoyed this little slice of Sal's medical emergency life. Might not be the best podcast episode that's ever been recorded, but at least we're trying. I know, especially following Roy Wood's tour de force last week, two dudes sitting around in a emergency room making fun of each other might not measure up, but I don't know. You know, I'm kind of admiring Sal's dedication to sticking with it. I'm going to leave you with one more thing before I go. Sal, feeling a lot better, got into it and decided to joke around a little bit for the recorder, and I caught it. Here it is, Sal telling some kid in the emergency room to shut the fuck up. See you next week.
Shut this fucking kid up. Shut this fucking kid up. This little motherfucker. Shut up. God, nobody cares about what you just discovered.
All right.
I heard that Rome wasn't built in a day. Then how come everyone is rushing to get ahead? And if I seem to be reserved, that's just my way. Your questions seem like you're interrogating me. Yeah, I try, then again I don't try. I get an F for effort, I get a D next time. Okay. Here we go. I heard the lemon metaphor 4 million times, and I don't stand for lemonade, don't ask me why. And would a beverage stand be a job that be desired? And where would I get the wood, and should I try? Should I try? Then again I don't try. I get an F for effort, I get a 65. Yeah, I try, yeah, then again I don't try. I get an F for effort, I might as well just I heard the currency don't grow like leaves on trees. Then how come my money comes and goes so seasonally? And I wish farmers planted plants instead of thieves. My friend pays a ton of green for greener groceries. Yeah, she tries, then again she don't try. She gets an F for effort, she'll plant a tree next time. Yeah, she tries, then again I don't try. I get an F for effort, I get a D next time. Yeah, I try, then again I don't try. I get an F for effort, I get a 65. Yeah,